They found her in the water tank, but that infamous elevator camera holds the real clues. What was Elisa Lam trying to escape? Elisa Lam arrived at the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles on January 26, 2013. A bright eyed, 21-year-old Canadian student on her first solo road trip through California. She carried a red suitcase plastered with travel stickers, a journal filled with itineraries, a restless curiosity that led her from Vancouver to San Diego and finally to the heart of downtown LA. She chose the Cecil for its budget rates, but dozens of guests before her had whispered rumors of its dark past. Stories of self unalivings, murders, and a cast of characters more fitting for a horror novel than a budget hostel. Elisa checked in, texted her parents, posted a photo of the lobby on Instagram, and set off to explore the city. 4 days later, hotel staff discovered her body floating in one of the rooftop water tanks. In the meantime, the only person who knew where she had gone was the security camera in an elevator on the second floor. I'm going to go silent here for just a minute so you can focus on the video, and then we'll get back into this story. But you'll see at one point she pokes her head out of the elevator doors as if she's looking for someone, perhaps expecting someone, and then hops back in and places her back to the elevator as if perhaps they've just turned the corner and she's trying to hide from whoever it is. So check this out, and then we'll get back into it. That camera recorded a brief, 53-second clip that would become one of the internet's most haunting mysteries. In grainy black and white, Elisa steps into the elevator car, hesitates as the doors close, and then performs a series of movements so strange that viewers have replayed them millions of times searching for a clue. She presses the roof button once, twice, 3 times, then seems to change her mind. The doors open again. She crouches in the corner, peering through the gap as if expecting someone to emerge. Her hands rise to her chest height, palms outstretched, and she shrugs in the way people do when they have no answers. With each gesture, she taps the panel a little faster. 24 presses in total. Then the doors close and the camera cuts away. What terrified her so completely that she abandoned caution in a strange building? Bipolar disorder and depression can drop people into moments of panic, and Elisa had been hospitalized for a manic episode earlier that year. But the precision of her button pressing suggests a clear purpose. She knew exactly what she was doing and where those buttons led. Her furtive glances, her crouched posture, the way she raised her hands, they all hint at someone hiding, signaling, or pleading. Meanwhile, on the roof, the water tanks sat unnoticed. 4 cylindrical water tanks, each holding thousands of gallons, supplied drinking water and fire suppression for the entire building. They were enclosed by unlocked gates, monitored only by a once daily maintenance check of the pressure gauge. Security logs showed the hatch on the eastern tank left ajar 2 mornings before her scheduled departure, but staff never reported hearing footsteps, finding fingerprints, or spotting a long figure. When maintenance crews climbed up to seal the hatch, they were greeted by an unimaginable sight: Elisa's body floating face up in the murky water. As news of her death spread, internet sleuths poured over every frame of that elevator footage. Some viewers argued that the camera glitched precisely when Elisa raises her arms, as if the recording system deliberately obscured her most crucial gestures. Was it a malfunction or a purposeful edit? If someone tampered with the tapes, was it hotel management seeking to cover up negligence or something more sinister? No official investigation ever admitted to missing or altered footage, but every glitch became fuel for conspiracy. The Cecil Hotel itself could have been a character in at least the story. Since its opening in 1924, it had been a magnet for down and outers, drifters, criminal suspects, and the destitute. It once housed the notorious tenants such as serial killer Richard Ramirez and Jack Unterweger, who strangled women and committed copycat murders while posing as a journalist. Its yellow walls echoed the screams and slurred threats. Even celebrities avoided its shadowy corridors. To stay there was to flaunt with history's darkest chapters. Some believe the hotel's grim reputation seeped into Elisa's mind, feeding paranoia or hallucinations. Others insist she stumbled upon illicit activity on the rooftop, drug deals, secret gatherings, or black market transactions, and was silenced to protect powerful interests. These theories often cite unverified eyewitness accounts of strange figures wearing hooded robes seen near the water tanks about hours. No photos, no police reports, just whispers on forums late at night. Yet when the official statements claimed her death was accidental drowning, skeptics pointed to her height and weight. Narrow ladders led to the platform, yet no one witnessed her ascent or descent. If she climbed up alone, why did she enter the tank rather than knock on the door? If someone led her there, where was their shadow in the elevator ride? Experts in forensic psychology have weighed in. Dr. Michelle Devine, a consultant on the case, notes that moments of extreme stress can narrow perception and memory. A single hallucination, an imagined figure in the corner of the elevator, for example, could prompt someone to flee without rational thought. Elisa's shaky school transcripts and abrupt changes in her travel plans suggest she was already off balance. But even Dr. Devane admits the button press sequence implies deliberation. One doesn't tap an elevator panel 24 times if one is lost. She was seeking escape, or perhaps she was sitting at code. Theories about supernatural forces often surface in cases like this. The hotel hosted multiple self-unalivings and unexplained deaths. Some guests claimed to sense cold spots, hear disembodied laughter, or glimpse moving shadows. In 2011, an amateur ghost hunter recorded EVP, electronic voice phenomena, on the 19th floor, where guests reported attempts to summon spirits. But such stories rarely hold up under scrutiny. Equipment malfunctions, misheard audio, and human suggestion account for most. Yet the persistence of these legends indicates a collective need to explain the inexplicable. When we look at Elisa's final video, we're not just watching a gray rectangle on our screens. We're peering into a mental landscape of crisis and confusion. Her looping button presses become a mantra of fear, her crouched silhouette a universal symbol of hiding. We project our own anxieties onto the footage: fear of isolation, fear of being unheard, fear of the dark unknown. In that way, Elisa Lam's elevator performance transcends her story. It becomes a mirror reflecting our own deepest dread. Still, the most mundane possibility may be the most plausible: a tragic accident compounded by hotel negligence. The building's security cameras were old and glitchy. Maintenance protocols relied on busy staff who prioritized guest complaints over locked hatches. Elisa could have climbed onto the tank to escape hallucinations or harassment from other guests, failed to secure the lid, and drowned in the rising water. By the time anyone noticed a broken lock, it was too late. A series of small failures. Stairwell doors left propped open, maybe so someone could take a quick smoke break. Cameras offline, because, after all, how often does anyone really need camera footage? Maintenance log misfiled, because who cares? All combined to create the perfect storm for tragedy. In the aftermath, Los Angeles Police Department closed the case as an accidental death, and the hotel changed hands twice in the following years. The Cecil was rebranded and partially renovated, but the stories lingered. Today, the building operates as a mix of low-income apartments and a youth hostel, catering to travelers who seek cheap rates and a front-row seat to history. Guided tours now point out the elevator shaft where Elisa's footage was captured and the rooftop tanks where her body laid undiscovered. Visitors snap selfies, either unaware of or unmoved by the real human life at the heart of a legend. Her family sued the hotel for negligence and settled out of court. but neither money nor legal judgments can restore a life lost under such bewildering circumstances. Elisa's parents erected a memorial near the tanks. Fresh flowers, handwritten notes, and a single red rose in a glass vase. That tribute, visible from the street, stands as a solemn reminder that each internet sensation is someone's daughter, sister, someone's friend. 12 years later, the elevator footage continues to haunt us. Every so often, a new video essay surfaces claiming to have uncovered the smoking gun detail, a flicker in the timestamp, a background shadow, a discrepancy in the camera angle. Viewers latch onto these discoveries only to find them debunked or disproven. Yet for every dead end, curiosity grows stronger. It's as if the quips themselves have become an invitation to keep looking, keep wondering. For my part, I can offer no explanation. I've seen the same footage as you have, and I don't know what it means. To me, she certainly looks like she's running from someone, expecting them to appear from around the corner. But is that someone real, or did they only ever exist in the mind of Elisa Lam? If the hotel had better cameras, or if security had been a little tighter, if, that's all we have. Maybe that's the real secret behind Elisa Lam's disappearance. We're drawn to what the gap between what we see and what we know. We hunger for answers because uncertainty is its own kind of terror. When the footage shows her raising her hands, we feel the urge to ask, why are you doing that? When we see the water tank, we shudder at the thought, how could no one hear her? And when the video ends, we remain staring at the screen. Gasper could feel the silence. Elisa Lam's story is a cautionary tale about the limits of surveillance, the fragility of mental health, and the human need for closure. It reminds us that even the city of angels, shadows gather in the corners. Her final moments, captured in flickering frames, challenge us to look closer at our own assumptions, to question official narratives, and to remember that every mystery begins with a single unanswered question. So, what do you believe happened in that elevator? Was it a tragic mistake, or a cover-up, or something beyond explanation? Leave your thoughts below and subscribe for more deep dives. And remember, sometimes the most ordinary footage reveals the darkest secrets. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Love you all. Bye-bye.